Welcome to the Manic Money Finance channel. You know, I told myself I'm going to hit these guys with some kind of creative little thing. I'm going to look off to the side. I'm going to act like there's somebody over here. I'm going to tell them something ridiculous. Like, I didn't know I just hit the live button, but you all know. That would be disingenuous. And that is the theme of this live stream, is dishing the disingenuous. This is about saying no to those finance live streamers, those people who consider themselves content creators, etc., etc. The people who think that they know what's going on when they post entries 6 hours after it already made its move. You're looking at the chart, you're going to yourself, hey, that's 6 hours before, you actually posted about it. Like, bro, you're lying. You're lying. And that's why, we're going to be pretty hardcore today. I am going to show you. Oh, audio is good. Audio is good. I mean, I'm going to give a fucking like on this thing just because. I'm going to share it to the socials, people. I'm going to share it to the socials. We're sharing. Sharing is caring, as they say. And we're going to go over a bunch of different stuff. All right. We're going to go over. No. Come. We're going to go over a viewer who dropped us a gem. And at the time, I was looking at it and I was thinking to myself, that's not a great stock to get into. But turns out it was a fantastic stock to get into. And you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. But my Unk, he dropped us a dime. I'm going to go ahead and get TradingView up so I can show you guys the chart. But he dropped us a freaking dime. A lot has happened since I last saw you. But basically, I am halfway to quitting my job and retiring early. I'm going to be traveling the continental United States this winter. 0 F's given. You know what I mean? 0 F's given. Oh, TradingView. What's going on? Bring up stock TradingView. Let's search for BTOG. Because my uncle dropped this little freaking nugget. And I said, hey, man, you know what? This doesn't look like my cup of tea. This is not, the fundamentals are all whack. I just don't think that I can, shill this thing to my viewers and feel good about it. And dude, let me tell you, this thing absolutely freaking blasted off. So I can tell you when I'm wrong. I was wrong about this bad boy. I wish I had put everything on this bad boy. I wish. We're gonna go over some wishes today, because while I am trading profitably, while I am trading at an absolute insane rate of return compared to what Wall Street's doing, I, my friends, am missing out on even more gains. This bad boy right here, I'm just telling you, it didn't look good. If you went down and you looked at the actual, income statements, everything else, annual income statement, negative $50 million. Why would I buy this? It's based in Singapore. Their reporting requirements are nowhere near what these other freaking companies have to do. Why would I touch this thing, man? Why would I touch this thing? Yeah, missed out on, triple, quadruple, even quintuple gains if you had bought and sold at the right time. You probably could have even done 6-time gains. This is what the markets are all about, people, transparency. That brings me to Zora. So I have not been shouting out my trades in the chats, and that's on me. I'll admit that's on me. But this bad boy right here, I started averaging a simple $400 a week into this thing. $400 a week. That's it. Nothing special. Sister's home. Dog's about to freak out. I started putting $400 a week into it right here. Right around here. It dropped. I put another $400 a week in right about here. Maybe right about here, because I technically was averaging up when I did it. Yo! Enough! Yeah, you can't stop him. You just can't stop this guy, man. So I put a total of, $800 in, because I'm trying to be the smart trader. So I'm averaging in $400 a week. Let's be smart. So I put a total of $800 in right before this happened. And this was insane. And I'll admit, I sold around here when it started dropping. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Bitcoin's dropping. Ethereum's dropping. This doesn't look good. I'm going to get out. And if I had not been working, I don't want to blame it on that because everything happens for a reason. But if I had not been working, I would have jumped back in this morning down here. Because basically that's a concrete support right there. That's a concrete floor. Bam, we're hitting it again here. But because I'm working nonstop, I'm making really good money, I didn't get to buy back in. And this brings me to my most important lesson. The FOMO, the fear of missing out. Because it is an intense feeling. It is probably a more difficult feeling to deal with than getting into something and losing a bunch of money. What's up? What? I am live. You want to jump in on this shit? Want to tell them about your investing journey? You are on screen.
It is weak.
She does not follow the Manic Money Finance channel. She does, only out of support for her bro. So, like I was saying, this is one of the most difficult feelings to deal with in investing and trading. So I threw $800 in, and right after I threw $800 in, this thing fucking goes nuts. 130% gains. It's dropping. I get out with a $1,200 gain. So I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm a fucking genius. I'm fantastic. I'm the best. Oh, it has almost doubled since then. And I knew. So I was talking about how I've been in a flow state lately with investing. And it has been absolutely insane to be winning as much as I have been, even if it's only 5% gain, 10% gain, selling some options for a 2% gain, but just literally barely losing. The only thing I got hit on was freaking minuscule option call plays that I bought on thinking that the Russell 2000 was going to make stocks go through the roof. It's literally the only thing I lost money on was my hedges. So my puts against stocks that I had already bought, which is just me being safe. And the stock went through the roof. So obviously those puts are going to expire worthless. And a simple US Gold Corp Russell 2000 play, which was like $200. Who gives a crap? You know what I mean? I'm going to show you my Robinhood account because that's what I do most of my short-term trading. Charles Schwab is just long-term stuff. And I usually use Robinhood because if something happens and I need to get that money out quick, Robinhood allows you to do that. Now, you're going to watch in real time as this thing collapses. But still, could have made insane money. It's rough to deal with. So yeah, I made $1,200 on Monday. I logged a $1,200 gain on Monday, and most of that happened just over the weekend. And I hung on and made even more money because it went up on Sunday night into Monday. But still, I could have turned that $1,200 gain into a $2,000 gain, a $2,400 gain. Whatever. Flow state. Like I said, basically when I was looking at this cryptocurrency, I was thinking to myself, this thing could be a 10 times gain. And I should probably just hang on to that 10 times gain. It was listed on Coinbase. It was listed on a ton of markets. Minuscule market cap. But still. Basically, I'm going to go over with you guys how I've been killing it so much. And really the only way to do that is to just show you guys my Robinhood. Because anything else, you're going to know I'm fake. So here's what I got right now. Most channels will not show you this. And I'm showing you this. So basically, let's go into the 3-month. It's been insane. It's been insane. The 3-month guys, we're up $1,860. So the beginning of this year, I was down. Just year to date, let's look at year to date. I was down. I was working a W-2 job. I was not making as much money as I was worth, and I was desperate in my trading. So I was down over $1,000 before I got into this flow state. Before I basically, the mindset is easy come, easy go. You have to stop caring about the money that you have. It doesn't matter. You're going to make more money. To sit there and stress and let yourself fixate on the money you have and be desperate to make more money. That's what was screwing me over. And it wasn't until I went from a W-2 job to being self-employed, banking money like crazy, making really good freaking money, that I turned it all around. And it's a mindset thing. It always has been for me. That's what I've noticed. And it's the most important thing is the mindset. So how did I do this, guys? How did I do this? All right. Up 26% in the past 3 months. That's better than almost every hedge fund out there. I can literally show you the hedge funds. But the first thing was PACB, Pacific Biotech. So Pacific Biosciences. I'm gonna show you this. All right. So I'm holding a bunch of shares of this. As you see, I've already made 8% on this bad boy, and I bought most of these shares today. Right? Oh, I have an option strategy. What do I have? Oh my God, $3 calls for 2027. Oh man, total return minus $10. Not a big deal. I know that the money's going to come in. Let's look at the transactions on this bad boy because this is going to blow your mind. All right, we don't need to look at this trading trend. So I need to look at my actual transactions right here. This is what's going to show you guys what I was doing, right? So I started off with this. I was buying Pacific Biotech calls for May. $1 calls, right? $19, $20 a contract. Stupid. It was stupid. And I should have known that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to sell calls, Also stupid. You know what changed that? You know what changed? It was like, okay, I am going to buy a bunch of shares of this. This is going to be my coup de grace. They dipped under $1. I started buying shares. And then I sold shares like a dumbass. So I went to myself, hey, I've been making money hand over fist. I've been killing it. What is my best thing to do? And I used to tell people this. Oh. See, this is my biggest problem with freaking This is my biggest problem with trying to share. You know what? We're just going to share the entire freaking screen. How about that? How about that? We're going to share the entire screen. I'm going to make sure that this crap doesn't look crazy. Boom, bada bing. There we go. We're sharing the entire screen now. So I sold a bunch of puts. I had a bunch of money, obviously. $5,250. I sold 35 contracts of frickin' puts. 35 contracts at 25 cents. $1.50 puts. This thing was trading about $1.25. And that was June 16th. As you can see, 3 to 4 days later, I got assigned. So now I own those shares. Let's see what happened, where I sold those shares. I have those shares here. Oh my God, I'm selling more put contracts. All right. And I own those shares. Let's see what happens. Oh my God, look at that. Selling 3,000 shares at $1.42. So my cost basis was $1.25. So this is what I was telling you guys. If you find a decent stock, so I knew Pacific Biotech had gotten hammered because Trump got into office and everybody thought the NCIB and the NIH was going to freaking pull all money from all freaking stocks. These guys are doing genetic sequencing, creating a freaking cancer vaccine off of everybody's individual genetic sequencing. So what that means is when you get cancer, this company will do genetic sequencing on you and then make you a cancer vaccine, which will kill your freaking cancer. So this is very complicated because I've been playing this one a lot. These are the puts I bought against the shares that I bought just to be safe. And then my most recent one, 500 shares at $1.46 and 1,000 shares at $1.53 to bring my average price to $1.50 even. So as you can see right now, I will show you my current position of Pacific Biotech. And see, this is the amazing thing is you can literally sit there and trade one stock, especially something stable like this, where you're not going to see massive price fluctuations. You can trade one freaking stock and just make money regularly. More money than you ever make at work. All right. So you see here, we have Kodak $10 calls. We're going to go into Kodak next because this is what I'm talking about. Like a flow state. My flow state does not depend on looking at a chart and telling you guys, what that chart can do. That's stupid. Don't do that. That is dumb. Don't look at a chart and think that you're some fortune teller. You're some crystal ball. If you look at the actual chart patterns, right? Bullish chart patterns, bearish chart patterns that are somehow supposed to tell you if a stock is going to go up or down, if a crypto is going to go up or down. There is literally a chart pattern for every single thing. So if you're looking at a stock like Kodak today, right? That's a round top. That's no good, but there's also a double bottom. Okay, but there's also an inverse head and shoulders. There's also a regular head and shoulders. There's every single chart pattern you can freaking imagine in that one daily chart. Like, you're never, ever, ever going to regularly. The people that trade off of charts and do so profitably have multiple different contingency plans. They average down with a higher leverage after it bops down and they hope for the best because that's all that is. Because if it keeps freaking diving, you're done. Dumb. Or there's people who do like me and just buy put options, just hedge their position. So if, the price drops, it doesn't matter because everything offsets. And while you might have had to pay out money for those put options, if they expire worthless, that's a good thing because it means the stock price freaking catapulted. So who cares? This is what we're teaching, dude. We're teaching how to do this shit professionally, how to do this crap regularly so you don't have to work anymore. I started working the unemployed life 4 months ago. Literally 4 months ago, this week, I went from having almost no savings, being completely negative and underwater, to banking 5 figures and well on my way to quitting my job. I'm going to stay at my job for 2 more months. And by the time 2 more months is out, I'm done. I'm off. I'm gone. Life is good. Life is very good. Okay, so let's check out what I did with Kodak. Because I knew that with the whole thing going on with the tariffs, that Kodak was going to be lit. And as you can see, I've been trading Kodak for a long time. But lately, what I've been doing, I've been buying $10 calls for January 2026. I sold some because Kodak went up and I needed some money. But we've been buying $10 calls on Kodak for 2026. And as you can see, back in 2024, I made a bunch of money buying $10 Kodak calls. So this was like a repeat trade for me, just shifted forward into the future a little bit. And as you can see, well, right now the total return on my options is negative $54. The value is $605. So I bought all this stuff for $660. Kodak itself, let's bring up this 3-month chart. Oh my God, beautiful chart. Look at this. Double bottom for my chart readers. What is happening is with these tariffs and the fact that Kodak has switched production, they've switched their whole model of making money from film and cameras to producing pharmaceutical chemicals stateside in America. Well, we now have a president that has this giant, big, beautiful bill and is investing money into freaking companies. Literally, the Pentagon is buying shares and options on companies directly. The Pentagon is the biggest freaking shareholder of MP, stock MP, material production. Look it up. Rare earth minerals in America. And they're talking about doing a 300% tariff on pharmaceutical components, and Kodak produces pharmaceutical components. And there's multiple companies and government entities with billions of dollars to invest in this industry. Let me tell you, buddy, like this $650 investment could easily become $11,000, $20,000. My goal is 11. My goal, basically, because you see the 750 right here, hit 775 intraday. That's nothing. This is about half of the minimum price within the next couple months that we're going to see. Let me tell you, people, that's how you trade. General overall trends in the market. Things that are going to work as catalyst towards a stock or a crypto. Because Zora is the same thing. I showed you the Zora chart. That stuff was crazy. What happened with Zora is basically they listed a cryptocurrency. And I'm not even thinking about the chart or the patterns, none of that. I'm literally looking at the fact that when Zora listed their cryptocurrency, soon after that, and they got on Coinbase very early into their, the life of that cryptocurrency, they airdropped a ton of Zora tokens to their earliest creators, basically their beta creators, alpha and beta creators. And that tanked the price of the crypto because basically those people were just selling into the launch of this cryptocurrency. And obviously Zora, it has some hand in the current rally because they as a company, they're doing exactly what XRP did 10 years ago, but they are putting a cryptocurrency out to market. They are selling that cryptocurrency at the market directly to investors while also simultaneously raising funds through stock offerings. So they have a bunch of money and they see that their crypto is dipping and diving. And when people look at their company and they look at their social media site that they've created, which it basically turns every social media entry into an NFT. I talked about them before. People are looking at them and going, oh, your crypto sucks. It's not doing well. Like, why should we invest? Why should we keep investing in your stock when your crypto is obviously dying? Like, it dipped under a penny when Bitcoin was hitting 120 for the first time. So they're obviously taking their own money, investing into their crypto to launch it so people will take them more seriously, which is what I banked on. banked on human nature. I banked on, common sense, not the freaking chart. Because if you looked at the chart looked like dog crap. Nothing in the chart would have told you that this thing was going up. So let's see what I did with BB. So I was looking at BB last week, right around here. It hit 4, and it was popping up. And this is actually the perfect example to give you, because I was going all chart reader on this thing bad. I was going chart reader on this bad boy. Okay, we're hitting that $4 support. All right. Oh, we're getting a higher low. Okay, so this thing should launch soon. So I bought. Guess what? It didn't launch. So I sold calls. Let's go look at those transactions. So I bought shares. Let's go look. Where did I buy the shares? Where did I buy the shares? These are my $10 calls. Where are the shares? Where are the shares? Okay, that's too far in the past. Obviously, I've been playing some. 1,600 shares at $4.09. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, okay, this is not looking good. Let me just sell $4 calls for July 18th. On July 15th, only 3 days away. So now my cost basis, this is what I was talking about, was selling calls and collecting the premiums. I brought my cost basis down to $3.97. And then I decided to buy some $10 calls in 2027, just in case it freaking catapults and my calls get pulled away, right? So obviously this is me buying one call back just to free up some shares. And I did the same thing here. So basically now I sold, I needed some money short term. That's how it works. So now I sold calls again, July 21st, yesterday. I sold $4 calls again for 6 cents per contract when it was trading under $4 a contract. So now my cost basis is $3.91 a share. All right, my cost basis is now $3.91 a share. Oh, look at that. BlackBerry is trading for $3.94. It closed at $3.96. So I'm in the profit already. And actually, as far as I'm concerned, I want this thing to close under $4 again. So my cost basis, which is at $3.91 now, I can sell $4 calls next weekend or next week right away. I'll bring my cost basis down even more. Who knows? Maybe I'll sell $3.50 calls and collect a massive freaking premium. And then if it tanks, I will be a happy camper. So this is the flip side of what I did with Pacific Biosciences, right? Because I knew Pacific Biosciences was going to go up. The market overreacted, sold off hardcore. It was going to go up. I'm looking at trends. I'm looking at patterns. I'm not looking at the charts. Don't look at the charts, people. Not when it comes to stocks. When it comes to cryptos, you're not going to get any news. Something like Zora, that's like a once in a 6 month, once in a 3 month opportunity. So I jumped on it, but and I can understand human nature and common sense. But something like this, where it's dipping and, selling the calls basically gives me, a happy face if the price does drop. That's the whole reason I did it. There's the whole reason I'm showing a negative on the overnight for my total investing. So Pacific Buy. So when you think a stock is going to go up and you want to buy shares, you sell cash secured puts, because then if it does drop, you can sell them out of the money, knowing full well that it might go up. And then, it might go up past the strike price that you bought at, and then you get to keep all that premium anyways. I know I'm probably explaining a lot of stuff that people don't understand, which is fine. But yeah, so I mean, I did other stuff too. People. Like this is one. I just, found this bad boy on Reddit. Oh, let's see. Oh, let me see. A buy, 230. A buy, 223. 23. Oh my God! Just the very next day, I sell at 29. Like yes, and this is another one. Yeah, I mean, it is literally, I bought down here, and I sold here. And I'm thinking I'm a genius because it happened the very next day. But look at None of that matters if you're making money, people. This is exactly what I was talking about with the FOMO. Exactly what I was talking about with the FOMO. Like, if you can get into the flow space and you can accurately call the top, congratulations. But if you jump into a stock and you're getting 33% the very next day and you jump out and you made a bunch of money, be happy with that. Be happy with that. If you want to look at that stock or that crypto again later and you see that it freaking went parabolic, it went nuts, that's fine. That means you picked a winner. You got out along the way. You made your money. Do not sit there. Oh my God. Do not sit there and freaking beat yourself up because you didn't hang on for 2 weeks and the thing, went insane, because that will literally just eat you up inside and destroy you as a trader. Like, you literally made money, dude. Like, especially if you're making money on the regular, like me, like, you're literally going through multiple weeks, in almost every single trade that you do makes you money, and your losses are minuscule comparatively. Do not sit there and freaking beat yourself up because you didn't maximize your profit. That's basically all it is. You didn't maximize your profit. By literally making money regularly, you're beating 95% of human traders on the market. You were literally destroying the market. So to sit there and just, oh man, don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Figure out a way to mentally cope with this, because I've always told people that's the thing that will destroy you the most. That's the thing that will just rip you apart as a trader. It's not going to be the money you lose. Like, when I go for a day trade and I hit my 5% stop loss, I'm not thinking to myself, oh my God, man, like, oh man, I lost 5% on that trade. I'm thinking to myself, whew, okay, I played defensively. I got out without losing that much money. And I know my next future trade is going to more than make up for that. My long-term trades are going to more than make up for that. Just saying. And I know I haven't live streamed in a while. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a breakdown of what I've been doing. I haven't been posting trades, and I apologize for that. I have been going nuts at work. I'm basically trying to just steamroll through these next 2 months, because if I can get through these next 2 months, that means Manic Money is going full time. That means Money Mike is going full time on the day trading, on the investing, and we are not working a wage slave job anymore. We are starting companies. We're going to be starting companies. We are going to be putting intellectual property out there that is going to pay us dividends in the future. It is going to bring our family up into the upper echelons of society and create high net worth individuals. We're going to be on a whole nother level, and it's something I can do myself, which is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I could care less about the money, and that is the mindset you need to have. Easy come, easy go, especially easy come. You need to stop caring. You need to stop stressing day to day and minute to minute about this money. When you do the research and you find something that you think is going to make you money, trust your judgment, trust your gut instinct. Do what you need to do to hedge your losses, like I do by buying puts. That's just smart. So hedge your losses, but don't second guess yourself. That's how I got into this flow state that I'm currently into. I bought a vehicle recently. I'm dropping dough. I'm doing what I need to do, to be a functional member of society. Ew. And that's fine. And it set me back, because vehicles aren't cheap. Living situations aren't cheap. If you can see behind me, this is not cheap. We got a new office chair. We got a brand new gigantic freaking toner printer. I haven't even taken all the freaking plastic off this thing yet. But being a self-employed company owner now, I need that bad boy. I might need to print legal documents. We might need to print some company letterhead. And you know it's going to be nice. So yeah, it's a whole mindset, people. Obviously, slightly inebriated. We're riding a high horse, you know. Basically, I'm already on track. I've already made just as much money as I make during the week off of investing, and it's only Tuesday. So I'm kind of riding the high horse here, even with the freaking income I missed out on, because I know there's gonna be another one, and there's gonna be another one for me to jump into, you know. And obviously this bull market that we're having with retail traders freaking sending stuff through the roof. It might be easy, but I know that what's really gonna separate the freaking apes and degenerates from the methodical experienced traders is going to be when the market tanks, when the market goes down. It's coming, and I can't wait, because when most traders are going to be like, oh my God, next Great Depression, Bitcoin is zero, I'll still be making money. And if you're following me, not financial advice, you'll still be making money too. So yeah, stay tuned. Next stream, we're going to get a little more into the technical analysis. We're going to go over economic data. I can't guarantee what day that's going to be quite yet, but I know that I'm freeing up my schedule. Basically, all I have to do now is trade and work my one self-employed subcontractor position during the day, which is a 5-day week job. I'm not doing anything else on top of that. I'm out. Already told everybody else I'm out. I'm done. We're on to the next thing. So yeah. Oh, one more thing, because I've been talking about this one for a while now. Yeah, I'm not getting into the technical shit. I'm gonna show you this right here. Oh my God, look at that SPY popping out of the fucking trend lines. But Bitcoin Depot did not draw any trend lines here, people. But I am still in this thing, and it still looks freaking beautiful. It still looks beautiful. We're just going to go right to the 6-month chart, reload this bad boy. This thing still looks phenomenal. Let me tell you what. This blue line right here, this is an average price. We're going to be popping up to that very soon. But basically, what I want to do is I want to get this whole thing in this picture, because I want to draw some lines on this bad boy. I want to draw some lines on this bad boy. For you guys, just so you can see. So obviously right here, oh, look at that. Tuesday, August 12th. Isn't that right when they're going to be announcing earnings? When is Bitcoin Depot going to be announcing earnings? So we're looking at August 12th here for like the pivotal, that was a firework, for a pivotal price action catalyst, right? When is Bitcoin Depot announcing earnings next? Oh my God, the earnings are expected August 12th, pre-market. Oh, would you look at that? I'm still into the warrants, people. I'm still into the warrants. Nothing's changed. At this point, I'm looking at long-term capital gains on these bad boys. My average price is probably about 10%, 10 cents. And I'm looking at long-term capital gains on these bad boys. Oh, this right there. Could probably retire early on these bad boys right here. After I sell them, I freaking, do something instrumental with them, something meaningful. And if you follow Populous Personas, I do talk about this stuff a little bit there, but you'll be able to see the actual real-time effect that this has on my life. So next time, Thursday, tomorrow or Thursday, we're going to be doing some actual technical analysis. We're going to actually be talking about the markets and the news. But I've been in a flow state. I have not been following any news on anything. I've just been basically kind of looking at price action and, doing what feels right, which is horrible advice to give to traders who have not been following the markets for very long, but I've been following the markets since 2017 religiously. And yeah, it's been insane. And I will make sure tomorrow I'm going to post all my holdings on the Manic Money Finance Facebook page. And I will I promise you, after tonight, I will post every trade. So stay tuned.